Welcome back to Cephas Unscripted. We're playing Italy this weekend, Robin.
Woo!
And you know what's bigger than playing Italy this weekend? Woo! You know what's bigger than playing Italy? Having one of our Bok boys, Mr. Fine Wine himself, getting his 100th cap for the Bok. And he's one of the most controversial figures, right? Because you either hate Willie or you absolutely fucking love Willie. I love Willie. I absolutely adore Willie. I think he's a great character for the game. How are you doing? And what do we think about Willie?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be playing Italy for the second week in a row.
You sound super down about it.
I'm not down. In terms of Willie, he's the man. I love Willie. He's done so much for the box. So I'm glad that we're going to do a little segment on Willie Leroux. But just struggling a bit with the cold here in Cape Town. All the Cape Townians that are watching the pod, you'll understand what myself and Casual mean when we say we are freezing. But let's get the show on the road.
Yeah, well, so because you heard it's cold, right? So can you just do us the favor and comfort us? Give us a little warm drukkie, right? By pressing the like and subscribe button. We do appreciate you guys for always being here and supporting us all the way. But anyway, as you said, we'll do a little segment just on video, and then we'll speak about the other guys that we're excited to see this weekend. He's the assist king. There's not many like Willie, right? He doesn't. You don't think about Willie as like that exciting fullback. I love Damian Willemse. Damian Willemse is the best player in the world, as you know. That's facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. Apelile Fassi, he's great, but they ain't no Willie. Right? Both of them has come out and said Willie is crucial to the way that we play. They've learned so much about him. We heard Siakulisi talking about it as well. Now, what do you think is the reason that Willie gets so much hate? Necessarily, if you know all the players love and adore him, and they all couldn't speak high enough of him. Do you reckon it's kind of just media training that they're doing, or do you think they're actually speaking from the heart?
I think it comes from a certain demographic. And I'm not going to say the demographic because I don't want to rub anyone up the wrong way. It comes from a certain demographic or age bracket, I would rephrase. And there's this particular phrase in Afrikaans that I think goes well with the fact that they dislike Willie. And it goes like this. Hy het 'n kom klap my gesig, which translates to he has a come smack me face. So if you're looking in rugby in general, you got a few guys with a kom klap my gesig. I'm pretty sure, Casual, you know some yourself. I think Willie's up there, even though I like him. He's got a.
We love Willie, but he does. It is true.
I think that's where it starts. And then if you look at the 2019 World Cup, we know that he couldn't catch a ball in that World Cup. Yes, he played an amazing final, but the games leading up to that, he was struggling with the aerial. That's where the slogan comes, Willie vangie. Willie doesn't want to catch. So I think it was brewing there already. So that combined with how he looks is maybe the reason he sits.
Well, don't forget about some of the defensive woes, like Shannon Frizzell going over Willie like he's nothing. But in the end, right, for all the woes that Willie has given us before, right, and there are a couple of woes, right? Like I get that some people might not like Willie. But he is so crucial to the way that we've played for the past how many years. He's been so vital to us in terms of the rebuild of the Springbok team that we saw in 2016, 17, and 8. Well, not 18. 18 kind of was the start of the rebrand, right? But after that woe phase, Willie's been vital to us. We haven't even thought about a different 15. Like we saw Apelile Fassi a good few years ago. He was given the chance and he stank it out, right? And we were like, get Willie back in there. Right, Willie's been the one that's always been there. And the way that he kind of approaches the game, his influence on the game is kind of more mental, or the way that he just sees the game. And that's how everyone spoke about it. Like, there's a reason that he always finds a way to assist, right? You see some wingers scoring tries, and I don't want to take anything away from like finishers of the game, right? Michael Solomapimpi, brilliant finisher. Could Curtly Arndt, brilliant finisher. Will Jordan, 42 tries in 44 games or something like that. It's crazy, right? Finishing the try is the easier aspect of it, right? A bit of gas can get you away on the touchline. Willie doesn't have the tries. He doesn't have the tries or those type of stats to back it up. But what he does have is the more impressive thing, the assists, the pass, and he does it day in and day out. And for all the criticism that he gets, it feels like he's getting better over the years. Like for the Bulls, when he came to the Bulls, we're like, should Willie have really left Japan to come to the Bulls? Will he be able to match the physicality and the pace of the game? He's been one of the Bulls' best player by a mile. Slotting anywhere, leadership role as well. Yes, does he throw his arms a bit? Of course, that's Willie. Even Rusty spoke about it. But I just think the overall impact that he has on the game. I would love for Willie to go into the same role as Dwayne Vermeulen. As soon as he's done, get him into like a bit of the coaching staff, get him to speak to the players, because that's just the influence that he has. And I'm not trying to just shove my nose up his ass, right? Because to be honest, I wasn't a fan of Willie too long ago, but he's upped his game by a mile, and he's great. There's nothing really more to be said surrounding just that.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it on attack. Like his assists, he's got the most assists out of all Springbok backline players. So that speaks for itself. Like you said, finishing the try is one thing, but creating it and then making that final pass under pressure, a lot of the time you've got like split seconds to make that decision. And 95% of the time he gets that right. So, but I think we should also not just focus on the attack aspect, but defensively as well. Now, one-on-one, that can be debatable. We have seen him slip tackles. But what I'm talking about is the actual defensive setup and how he can run the defense from the back with that full bird's eye view. A lot of the time when Willie is starting over the other fullbacks that we have in our arsenal, he is the one that's, the best in terms of organizing that defense. Now, maybe for the average viewer, you're not able to see that in real time. But myself coming from a rugby background as well, I know how crucial a fullback is with that very defensive system. So for me,
Remember, he sees the whole field, right?
He sees the whole field. So, and I think he does that well and the best out of the fullbacks that we have. So on attack and on defense, he is quality and probably, if not one of the best fullbacks that South Africa has produced. Despite all the hate.
You took the question from my mouth. I was just going to ask you, is Willie the greatest fullback that the Springboks have produced, or do you go Percy Montgomery, Frans Steyn?
Some people will say Rolls-Royce. Are you familiar with Rolls-Royce? Apparently, Divan was born yesterday.
Who's Rolls-Royce? Zane Kirshner.
Zane Kirshner. Do you think people are putting him up there? Andre Hubert.
Ring a bell? He's before my time, bro. You are Otopy compared to me.
Guys, I'm 2 years older than Divan. Don't let him blaspheme me like this. Anyways, I got a question for you, Casual. Willie playing his 100th game this weekend. His first ever Bok cap was in 2013 against Italy. He's making his 100th appearance for the Boks against Italy. I don't want to ask you what's going to happen because probably know what's going to happen. I want to ask you, what is he going to do after this game? Do you think he retires on the spot after? Do you think they keep him in the mix? Well, what do you think happens?
No, I don't think he retires. I think the fact that he's still playing at the Bulls tells you that he knows he can still be there, right? Willie's not a shit player all of a sudden. I think he's playing the best rugby he's played. He's playing the best rugby he's played now than he's played before, right? And we saw him at the Griqua days, the Cheetah days, right? We were sensational. That's kind of a very impressive thing about Willie. You think about when he burst onto the scene, obviously fullback, but also more so a wing. He was the guy that had a bit of gas. He had a juicy little step on him, the creativity that he had. He was kind of the Cheslin Colby of then, right? Willie was on everyone's lips. Now he doesn't do any of that, but yet he still finds a way to operate brilliantly. So his gas and his step and stuff didn't define his game and stuff. I do not think he retires after this. Not while he plays for the Bulls. I wouldn't be surprised if he calls it a day, either at the end of this year or for sure, I think he will retire by the end of the next year's World Cup. Right? I don't think he's just playing just to get to 100 caps. I don't think this is a pity selection or anything like that. You need at least 2 to 3 competitive guys in certain positions. And he still is, whether he's 1, 2, or 3, because you can't rank them really, because it's just they have so different games. He's one of the 3 best fullbacks in South Africa. And that he can still offer you a lot in the World Cup. If you know you're playing a big game, must-win game, I'm thinking you have to have a Willie there, whether it's on the bench or starting. You have to have him involved in the team. He's been there, he's done it. And then after 2026, 2025, 2020. Sorry, I said the World Cup is next year, 2027. Maybe he calls it a wrap or whatever. I don't think he'll be playing as much as he necessarily does. I think the time is now for a Damian Willemse to grab a hold of that 15 jersey, or Apelile Fassi. But I reckon he'll still be he'll be in the squads, maybe doing one of those coaching roles. Maybe we see a game where it's like Fassi or Willemse at 15, as we saw in the World Cup, and then Willie in the coaching box, like part of the attack coaches, those type of things.
Okay, so Willie retire nie? Is that what you're saying?
And I don't think he should. I don't think Willie should retire. I think he's got enough in the tank still left.
I think we'll know after this weekend's game where his head's at. I'm pretty sure he'll be in some sort of press conference or interview where he will have a chat about his future.
Well, why wouldn't he want to be part of that squad that was kind of that was part of the rebuild to go for that 3rd World Cup in a row? That's the question. Why would he retire before the total pursuit of that?
I don't have the answers, Casual. You're going to have to ask Willie yourself.
Okay. Well, just quickly, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. With the rest of the squad, I'll just run you through the squad quickly, and then you just tell me who you're excited to see. Thomas the Tank Tutoy, Malcolm Marx, Volker, starting front row. That's probably the biggest front row in the world. That's crazy. The amount of size that we got there. Captain Salman Murat. Partners, Ruan Orkia at lock. Marco van Staden. Bro, if you told me after the first 3 games, the guy with the most minutes in the Bok jersey is going to be Marco van Staden, I would have laughed you out of the room. I didn't even think he's going to see the field. But he's got the most minutes.
When last have we had load shedding, Casual? Eskom's on, bro.
Eskom is playing some rugby at the moment. Pieter-Steph to tackle obviously makes his return. You're not allowed to say you're most excited for Pieter-Steph to tackle, because everyone's excited for Pieter-Steph to tackle. His first game after winning World Player of the Year. Okay? For the Boks. Jasper Wiese at 8. Backline. Grant Williams and Mani Lebok. Enough to make your pants sit a bit tighter. That is flary. There you go. Centers. Andre Estreisen, Kane and Moody. Wings, Mapimps, Edolf van der Merwe, and then Willie, Mr. Fine Wine, Leroux. Replacements 5-3 split. We've got 3 props on the bench. Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Oxenche, Asenati and Klabakanye. Kobus Wiese is our lock replacement, so he might feature a bit with his brother, which is obviously magical. The beautiful Ivan Roos on the bench as well. There you go. Finally. Kobus Reinach, Sasha Feinberg, and Gomu Zulu. And then the talking point, obviously, Ethan Hooker. Who are you most excited for and why?
Okay, in terms of starting lineup, halfback pairing for sure. That's going to bring some pure pace to the game, especially to the back line. We know what Andre Esthuizen is going to bring in terms of his physical appearance and aspect. And then I'm excited for all the debutants. We've got Ethan Hooker. Some people may say we didn't go for a 6-2 split, but I think we did, because we've got 2 hookers on the bench. And then secondly, I'm also excited to see Ivan Roos. Obviously, he's not a debutant.
Oh, sneaky one. I just caught that a bit late. My bad.
Anyways, I'm excited to see Ivan Roos as well get another opportunity. So I hope he gets enough minutes. And that's about it.
Do you want to know my wild prediction for what we could see this weekend? I'm going to blow your mind. We're going to take off Salman Murat. Kobus Visa is going to go into lock. We're going to take off Eskom. We're going to see Ruan Orkia going into the Lucy position. We're going to take off Jasper Visa for Evan Roos. Roos is going to take that eight man. We're going to take off Pieter Stef du Toit for Ethan Hooker. And we're going to move Andre Estreisen into the flanker role for like the last 20 minutes. Wild. But it's gonna happen. I got the inside scoop.
If you got this prediction right, crazy.
It is a wild shout, but imagine.
Who knows with Rassie?
Yeah, well, I phoned Rassie up and I asked him, listen, could that be? And he's like, yeah, just don't say it online. Well, oops. Just let it slip. One of those things. But I guarantee you this is going to happen. I'm saying this full of bores. I'm saying this full of bores. And I've got a lot of bores.
Okay. This is getting a bit sexual now. Wrap us up.
Everyone, thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. We do appreciate you guys. This was just a little fun shit talking one that we did. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Ciao. I didn't say full of wars, bro.